Right, hello guys. I've got a little seat here because today is like a sit-down video explaining what Blaze has been going through for the past week, well, past weeks. And I've had a lot of questions about how he's doing, what's been going on, what's he having the vet for and everything like that. Blaze doesn't want to be in the video today. I have got this on him because he is feeling perkier now and I don't want him to dash out of his stable door. But as you can see, no Blaze, no. As you can see, he's on a lovely big bed, which has been very beneficial for him. So I've got my iPad here because I wrote down some notes because I don't want to forget anything. Blaze, if you munch my iPad, I'm not going to be very happy. So, this all started off, we were riding him and he was getting ready for some little unaffiliated shows and everything like that. And he just came in from the field lame. We trotted him up and he was very, very lame on this shoulder. Couldn't walk in a circle. Come on, go back. He couldn't walk in a circle and he couldn't trot comfortably. Like, he was very obviously lame.
Please excuse the fact that this is filmed in portrait, but this was him after coming in from the field lame. The only way that he would walk was if we gave him a feed bucket.
Then we kept him in and he seemed to not be getting any better, he was getting worse. So his weight-wise, because he is prone to laminitis, was perfect. Because he'd been in work, he was very good weight and he wasn't fat or anything like that. So when the vet came and told us that he had stress laminitis in both front feet, but majority in his right foot because he was weight bearing more on his right foot, we were really surprised because he's never actually had stress laminitis before. He's had regular laminitis from the grass being too rich and everything, but never stress laminitis. So we obviously got the vet out. She diagnosed him with laminitis, so we put him on a big thick bed that covers his whole stable immediately, put him on soaked hay and all stuff like that, even though he wasn't even though he wasn't fat. We knew that he was going to have to spend a lot of time in his stable and we didn't want him to obviously get fat off of having normal regular hay. For a while also he couldn't have it in the hay net because he was just lying down all the time, and we just basically put it on the floor at the front of his stable so that he could help himself to it if he was lying down.
Most of these videos that I recorded are in portrait mode, but I'm going to be inserting some throughout the video.
And if he was standing up. So we also got the physio out, and she worked wonders with him, and she just said that he was really tight in his back, like in his bum basically, from where he'd been taking the weight off of his front feet and leaning on his back feet a lot, because there was a point where he was like literally spread out like this and just like leaning back, and you could tell that he was in obvious pain. The vet prescribed him some bute, so we bulked on the bute for a couple of days. So we had 2 butes a day for 2 days, and then he went on to 1 bute a day, so half in his morning feed and half in his evening feed. So then we saw some improvements. Obviously bute being a painkiller, it obviously helped him out and took the pain away, self-explanatory. So we decreased the amount that he was on and he went down to half a sachet, and he was obviously a little less comfortable on that, but he was still comfortable. He was still wanting to walk out of his stable and he perked up a bit. And we decided, because the vet said once he's comfortable, he can start going out for a little bit a day. Please. So we put him in a tiny little pen in like near the turbine field, and thank you. Barely any grass in there. We turned him out for, I think he went out for 2 days. On the 3rd day, he became crippled again and he just couldn't walk. He didn't want to come out of his stable. Like, for anybody who knows Blaze, as soon as you leave that stable door open, he is out running to the haylage or running to food because he knows exactly where all of the food is. But he just stood here and he was lying down again and and just, yeah, he wasn't his normal self, were you?
Here are some more videos of him lying down. I do believe this one was before he got worse again. But although it was so lovely to spend time with him like this and get videos like this of us spending that time together, it was obviously horrible to see him in this way because he was clearly in quite a lot of pain on his feet, and obviously it was good that he was lying down because he was taking the weight off of his feet. This is dried hay, but I gave him some hay whilst he was lying down just so that he didn't have to stand up.
So we then got the vet out again to check him, and she told us to up his bute dosage, which we did. So he went back up to 1 bute a day. Are you getting bored? But he still didn't really get much better. So after having a chat with the vets, we decided to test for EMS, which is quite common in ponies like him. So the vets came back out again for the 3rd time. They took some bloods, which you weren't too happy about, were you? And a normal set of insulin levels for ponies like him should be under 20. And his insulin levels were actually over 300. So it was pretty clear that he obviously had EMS. So started him on his medication. He's on this medication for about a month, I think. And it just resets his metabolism and his insides and helps reset his insulin levels and stuff like that. So he's on that at the moment, and he's eating it. It smells like salted caramel. I will go into the feed room and show you what it looks like in a minute. Blaze, so stop it. So even though he started this new medication, we kept him on 1 bute a day. Am I boring you? Just until he was comfortable. He's now on half a sachet. We then, because he was still footy, the vet advised us to get X-rays of him. What are you doing? The vet advised to get X-rays, and so they came back out again for the 4th time, brought all their X-rays machines.
This was him standing on his little blocks after he'd been sedated, ready for his X-rays.
And I will show you his X-rays, and I will basically talk you through them.
Okay, so I did try to explain this outside on my iPad, but the glare from the sun didn't really show the X-ray off properly, so I thought I'd just do a voiceover of it, and I've done a little diagram. So if you look at the red circle, it's very faint, but you can see a slight shadow. This shadow is where the laminae has come away from his hoof wall. Not severe at all, but it's just something to look out for. And then the blue circle is his pedal bone, and we were looking for any rotation. He has only got minor rotation of his pedal bone, so again, nothing to really worry about. And then we look at the 2 yellow circles. This is to check of any sinking through the bone. So if we look at the top yellow circle, that is his coronet band, and then the bottom lower circle is the bone. Again, a little bit of sinking, but nothing to majorly worry about. I should have probably mentioned that other foot was his left front and this is his right front. So in this one, he doesn't have any shadowing, which is great. The blue circle is obviously his pedal bone. There's been a slight rotation, but nothing major. And then the top 2 yellow is the sinking. A little bit of sinking, but nothing major to worry about. I will also add the reason why there is a farrier nail on his hoof is so that you can see the top of the coronet band in the X-rays, because obviously that would be quite hard to see.
Blaze, and then they just said there's nothing really to worry about. Blaze, really? Nothing really to worry about, although his toe is a little long, so we're getting the farrier out to cut, to trim his toes. Right, Blaze, no, come on. Back, can I have my stool back? Come on, come on, come on. So Blaze is now on just half sachet of bute, and he's walking fine. The vets did say that he was a little bit dramatic, because after we actually saw the X-rays, we thought they would be a lot worse than they actually were because of how he was reacting. So you're a little wimp, aren't you? Blaze, don't do that. But he seems a lot more perkier in himself, as you can probably tell. He's annoying. and hopefully he just continues to get better. So he's still on, obviously, his soaked hay, and we've got to keep him on his medication for a month. He's still on Bute, but I think he'll be able to come off the Bute because, like I say, he's only on half a session in the morning and he's walking a lot more comfortably. You can see him actually willing to wander out.
This is him walking out of his stable the other day. Don't mind the lead rope. Obviously, he's not going to tread on it or anything, but Mum got him out just to see how he was walking, and he's walking a lot happier. He decided to maybe eat some of his soaked hay, but then knew where the haylage was, so he decided to make a run for it. And Mum had to get him.
Wondering, let him get too far. And he's willing to obviously go back. There was a time where he literally would not move. He'd be in the back of his stable, and he wouldn't want to walk anywhere, I couldn't move him. I literally mucked out around him. He was that still. But yeah. So obviously with laminitis and EMS, we've obviously always got to be now careful of sugar levels in grass and everything. So in an ideal world, it would be to not give him grass, but you can't deny a horse grass. So we're just going to have to be very careful and monitor him, work closely with the vets and the farrier. Our farrier is really good. He always checks his feet and tells us if there's anything wrong or anything. But yeah, he hasn't had the farrier yet, but he's going to come and trim some of his toe off this week, I believe, in the next couple of days. So yeah, that is an update on Blaze. He doesn't actually want to be in the video anymore, do you? You're not going to roll, are you? Please don't roll on me. Blaze, what are you thinking of doing? Blaze! Blaze! God's sake, horse. I was just sitting there and he started rolling. What have you just done? Oh. You do know how to be an inconvenience, don't you? Thanks for that. Oh dear. Oh no. Right, no. Right, we're done. We're done filming. You're being annoying. Right. Done with you. So this is the medicine that he's on for his EMS. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. You can have your best guesses. So, been prescribed, I'm not going to show you that way because it's got our address on it. It's been prescribed for Blaze, and it says, it was weird because it said we had to store it in the fridge until we opened it, and now we don't have to store it in the fridge. Usually it's like after you've opened something you have to store it in the fridge, but anyway, he's on 3 ml a day. So we have this tiny little syringe which we just like stick in there, and it's like a caramelly paste. How do I even open this? Okay, I've just got it on my hands. It does say to use gloves when, like, what's it called, pouring it and putting it in the syringe and stuff, but you don't really usually get it on your hands, so I think we're all right. But yeah, you just like syringe it up and then put it in his food. It says to give it to him orally, like in his mouth, but he eats it out of his food, and he literally always licks his bowl clean, so we're not worried about him sort of not getting it. But yeah, that's the update on Blaze. That is the end of the video. Obviously nice and short, but it was a much needed explanation about everything. If I have forgotten to put any important information in, or if I have said anything wrong, I probably will correct it in a voiceover or like text on the screen, because obviously I'm still being educated on it daily, although I know a lot more about it than I did to start off with, which is good. Learn something new every day. Every day's a school day, isn't it, Blaze? Isn't that right? You gonna say goodbye? But yeah, he's back to his cheeky self. Thank you. And we're happy. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Pray for Blaze. For the year to be the worst of it. And I will see you next time. Bye. Blaze, say bye.